Hey guys, Crypto Force here again, bringing you another daily dose of crypto. And today the video I want to make is about Red Pulse token, also known as RPX for the symbol on the exchanges. And the reason I want to talk about it, the last couple days it's caught my attention because it's been the highest gainer in the top 100 tokens. And, so that just made me just think, what is this? I'm going to do some research on it. And while I knew a little bit about it, I definitely educated myself a lot in the last 24 hours about it. So without further ado, let's get started here. So Red Pulse token's been around really not as in token form, but as an idea and as a business since around 2015. They actually had their ICO around September of last year, and they went on the markets live in mid-November. Now there is 1.4, almost 1.4 billion tokens for total supply, but there's only about a third of that in circulation. So there's around 500 million tokens actually in circulation, which either one of those numbers isn't really a lot, for the amount of money that it's trading at. So, that's nothing to really be too concerned about, is that amount of tokens. So they are based in Hong Kong, but they also have an office in mainland China, which I find very interesting because in Shanghai there is one of their offices. And, we hear in the media all the time China has banned 100% of all cryptocurrencies, yet we know, with validity that there's actually, more than just Red Pulse token with a home base in different cities within China. So, it's interesting just to see why they're allowed to operate, as to where, just like Tron, for instance, as to where, we keep hearing from their media that they've banned 100% of all cryptocurrency, which is a point I want to talk about what Red Pulse token is. Now, what Red Pulse token is, what they plan on doing is essentially adding a form of valid media or market knowledge to the outside world. Now, the biggest problems with news that comes out of China, whether it be financial or any kind of media that comes out of China at all, is accuracy and transparency is the first problem, and information overload. So, what does that mean? Well, China has one of the world's largest, internet connected societies. They have the most people on earth in that country. They have the second largest GDP, and there's just a lot going on in China. And as you know, a lot of times in mainstream media, we'll see a news article come out about China, and then 24 hours later it's either redacted or somebody has to make a another statement clarifying what was actually said or what actually happened. So this is an issue that Red Pulse wants to address. Now, it sounds kind of far-fetched, and I'm not trying to sell this coin to anybody, because me personally, I'm just trying to educate you guys on what it is. I'm not sold on this idea, but I'm not bad mouthing it, but I'm also not pumping this coin. So anyways, so how's Red Pulse going to work? Well, they plan on solving both these major problems that have to do with news coming out of China. And the way they want to do that, they want to incentivize the media and the news that comes out of China, especially the financial sector. So what that means is, if they can actually incentivize the news that comes out for the financial markets and the financial sector, global asset fund managers will be jumping on board to get a hold of it. Fortune 500 companies will want to know that stuff to make educated guesses on what the Chinese markets are doing. Like I said, they are the second largest nation in GDP. So the way they incentivize this program, these RPX tokens, let's say you're an insider in China, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is just an example I'm going to use. But let's say you work for some company in China, and you have some good information, and you're going to go ahead and leak it. Well, this is somewhat like a Steemit or a Reddit in a way. So you leak this to Red Pulse, and if they find this, and they do a vetting process, and eventually you'll be actually considered expert level if you're good at presenting quality information to the public. But let's say you have this information and you release it to Red Pulse token, people start looking at it, it turns out to be totally true, then Red Pulse token is going to reward you with RPX tokens. So, it's incentivized to give true and legitimate news on financial markets. Now, as it goes along, Red Pulse is also going to have automated and scaled machine learning system, and it will aid in research process. And the machine learning system will also help deliver the most relevant data to analysts. So, this whole thing is purely data driven. So Red Pulse token ultimately is nothing more than pure data that comes out of China to get rid of all the confused media, the confused data that comes out of China, to better help people make educated, informed decisions on, especially the financial sector. That's really what the key is on this right now, although it'll eventually, they want to branch out into other things. So I think it's interesting that they're the first token on NEO platform, and as of today, they let's see here, they signed a partnership with Nex, which Nex is the NEO exchange, so that's also built on the NEO platform. So it seems like a group of people, because NEO is the Ethereum of China in a sense. So it seems like they're kind of sticking together. They're meshing, forming partnerships and so forth. So when I hear the media of China has banned cryptocurrencies altogether, it's just hard for me to believe, because I see what's going on with NEO and then these tokens that are dropping on the platform. Now, I didn't really get into the team here, but they do have a good informational website. The colors are kind of, it's just kind of hard to read just with the white background. But, there's a lot of information here. So, if you don't understand something I said, just check this website out, because it is very informative. They have a nice roadmap here, and it looks like they've hit all their targets so far. They do have some pretty big things coming up with development of different cloud feeds and things of that nature. Now, the team, I don't know any of these individuals, by name. Nothing really pops out at me. They do have some nice educational backgrounds. Other than that, though, I do not know who they are. They have a lot of advisors here, and I couldn't tell you who they are either. I have no idea. But it is good they stick a name and a face on here, so it's not like BitConnect where you don't know who the hell runs it, and obviously for obvious reasons, because they're the Bernie Madoff of the crypto world. Now, they do have some partners, and on this website it also talks about they actually send media. I guess the way I'm saying it is Reuters, Bloomberg actually receive some media from them, and some some predictions, things of that nature from them. So they're actually reporting on news that Red Pulse has given them. Now, there is 60,000 subscribers on Red Pulse, which that's pretty good for this for this amount of time Red Pulse has been out, since relatively speaking on the market, since about mid-November. So I think that's a pretty good jump in business as far as amount of people jumping on board. So they also have a nice frequently asked questions sections here, and I'm sure a lot of these questions are ones you may be asking, like what NEO wallet to use, what is the use of RPX on our platform, etc. So their website is laid out pretty nicely, so I definitely give that a thumbs up. But other than that, another interesting point is, whenever this ICO'd back in September, if you purchased it, you couldn't purchase it with the Ethereum. You had to use NEO tokens. So I can't even talk tonight. You had to use NEO tokens. So the NEO token, one of them was worth 1,000 Red Pulse tokens. So you would have tripled your money had you actually done that, because right now, well, you'd have $280 for every one NEO. So it'd be almost triple your money. So that would have been a good investment. But that was how the ICO went down. So anyways, guys, hope this helped you out a little bit and explained exactly what Red Pulse is. They do have a big following going on Twitter. Looks like almost 30,000 followers, and they're a very active community. They're always updating, keeping everybody in the loop, which is a great thing. Me personally, I have nothing tied at all to Red Pulse. I'm just putting out the research I've done, So it's up to you guys whether or not you want to get into it, want to research it more, and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, hope you guys have been doing great. If you guys like this video, please share, subscribe, and like. If you have coins or anything you want me to talk about ICOs, please stick them in the comment section below and I'll take a look at them. I know I owe one of the subscribers or viewers one on SolaCoin. That'll be coming out soon. Just haven't had a chance to make it yet. But other than that, guys, as always, good luck trading, and Crypto Force signing out.